What's up, people? It's Tuesday, and today I'm going to show you everything I eat in a day as well as a leg day. So I'm out on a morning walk, and the first thing I'm having is some athletic greens with creatine. Walk for about 20 minutes. We'll head back to the house. We'll make breakfast, meal one, and I will show you what that is. All right, here's meal one. This is breakfast. We have 2 eggs, egg whites on top of a bed of vegetables, a little bit of reduced fat cheddar cheese on top, and 2 pieces of sourdough toast. Macros for this meal: 57 grams of protein, 81 carbs, and 31 grams of fat. So we'll enjoy this, and then it's time to get to work. My morning cup of coffee, decaf with 3 servings of sugar-free Chobani coffee creamer. I've been doing decaf for the last 3 weeks to really let my body resensitize to caffeine. So we'll drink this and we'll get some client work done, and we'll see you guys back here in the kitchen for meal 2, which is also my pre-workout meal. All right, we're back in the kitchen for meal 2, and it is my pre-workout smoothie. Super duper thick, super duper thick. Fucking love this meal. Macros for this meal: 40 grams of protein, 37 carbs, 4 fat, for a total of 486 calories. Inside we got almond milk, banana, 2 different kinds of frozen fruit blends, and a big old fat scoop of whey protein. So we're gonna drink this down, let it digest for about 60 minutes, and then we'll head to the gym for a mic'd up leg day. Yeah. She thick.
What? Back squat or front squat?
Smith machine back squat. All right, folks, we're here for a mic'd up leg day. Gonna get into it. The workout is on the phone. We're gonna start out with Smith machine back squat, 2 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Last time I did this, I did 245 for 2 sets of 8. Today, we are gonna jump back up in the rep range and use a weight that we've used previously before for 9. So that means we need to warm up and get our way to our top set of 235. Let's get into it. Plate it up.
shorter. One of the things important to know when you're warming up is if you're targeting a top weight, for me today 235, on your way up you don't want to keep your reps super high, because by the time you get to your working weight you're going to be pretty fatigued. So pyramid up in weight, pyramid down in reps. Just do enough to feel the weight, have your body understand what's going on so you can save your energy for those hard working sets. Now we're going to do 185 for 6. Two plates. All right, second to last warm up, 225. Do 2-3 reps. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. If you couldn't tell, little bro is a whole lot stronger in the leg department. That's good. 315. 295. I'm just gonna do one final warm up. So this is my working weight, but I'm gonna just do 1 rep to feel it out and kind of prepare my nervous system for the working sets. Pretty good, pretty good. 2 sets of 9 should feel buttery smooth on that. Backing off to some bitch weight. Oh, and by the way, we're gonna go for 2 sets of 10 instead. I looked at my history of training, and this week we're set to do 2 sets of 10 with 235. Money, 5-minute rest. This is what it should look like. Take your time, catch your breath, let your heart rate come down. You want to rest as long as needed to fully recover so that you can come back to your next set and perform your best. If that means you got to take 5 minutes, take the 5 minutes. If you're in a crunch for time and you don't have time to take 5 minutes for rest, don't do as many sets. You're probably going to get better muscle building outcomes when you train for performance improvement. You train intensely versus trying to cram in a lot of volume in a short amount of time, because what will likely happen is you're going to be limited by your cardiovascular endurance, your ability to get your heart rate down in between sets versus true mechanical tension and pushing close to true failure. So take that long rest if you need it. I'm gonna sit here for 5 minutes and focus on the next set. Yep. Come on. Marnie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, second set, going for 10 reps. 235 is on the bar. Let's get it. One more.
Come on.
Money. All right, next up we got 2 sets of back extensions, 8 to 12 reps. I'm gonna do 2 warm-ups and then we'll start adding some weight. All right, really helpful tip when you're doing back extensions is where you set this pad up. I see a lot of people either set it up too high or too low, and neither one isn't going to allow you to get the proper stimulation in the posterior chain. So when you set up, you want your feet on the platform against the pads, and you want your hip crease slightly above the top of this so that you can go all the way down, hinge at the hips, and come all the way back up, okay? We're gonna go for 12 reps here with an additional 55 pounds. Oh yeah. All right, next up, little break from the compounds. We're gonna be doing standing calf raise on the Smith machine. 3 sets, 10 to 15. Last set, third set, is taken to failure with partials. So I'll show you what that looks like when we get there. First set. All right, another mistake a lot of people make when they're training calves is loading the bar up with a shit ton of weight and then bouncing. Calves are a pretty stubborn muscle group, and I find that they grow best when you keep them under tension and you get a deep, deep stretch and a strong squeeze at the top. So tempo on this exercise is everything. Take note. All right, third final set to failure and partial reps at the very, very end. Pay attention closely. 12. 13 failure. Partials. Yeah. All right, next up we have leg press. 2 sets of 12 with 400 pounds. Now this is a cannonball leg press. So that means my heels are going to be floating off of the platform. My feet are going to be placed very low. And that is to get as much knee flexion as I can to bias quads, keeping my glutes, hamstrings out of it as much as possible. So let's get into it. First set, 12 reps. One more. All right, set number 2, 12 reps. It's gonna be a grinder. Let's get it. Yep. All right, next up for the hamstrings is lying leg curl. Last time we did this, we did 90 pounds for 2 sets of 12. The rep range for this is 8 to 12. So because we hit 2 sets last week at 12 reps, that means we're gonna go up in weight and back down in the rep range. So we're gonna go from 90 pounds to 100 pounds and shoot from anywhere between 8 to 10 reps, okay? Now another crucial piece of getting the most out of your training is making sure the equipment is set up specifically to your body. So for this machine in particular, the lying leg curl, you want to make sure this is starting at the right position. You want it to start a little bit lower than your legs are going to go so that you are provided a stretch in the lengthened position. Second thing is making sure that this leg roller pad is set up to be right above your heel against your Achilles tendon, and your knees are just off of the edge of this pad. So here's what it looks like when I get set up. Knee right under the pad, feet right under the roller. And before I even start, there's tension. There's tension there in my hamstrings, okay? Another key is keeping your hips against the pad so that you get full activation of your hamstrings. Let's go. And we need to change the weight. That felt too light. There we go, that's more like it. Strong on the way up, slow controlled on the way down. One more, hips down. Perfect. Second last set, we're taking it to failure. Let's see if we can match reps from the first set. So let's see if we can get 10 again. Count that as 10. I was on my way to 11, but it didn't quite count, so we're gonna call that 10. Last but not least, a little bit of ab work. I really love this ab machine. Abs are no different than any other muscle group. You wanna train them under load. You wanna use progressive overload, track your weight, track your reps, and a machine like this is great. A little key tip on this machine and a lot of ab training is getting that stretch just like any other muscle. Bicep, lats, pecs, quads. You want to be able to stretch the abs out and then squeeze them, and this machine works great if you can get set up correctly. So here's how it goes. Big stretch, open up the rib cage, squeeze, open up the rib cage, squeeze. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, folks, that does it for our lower body day. Time to get out of here, get cleaned up, and have meal 3, our post-workout meal. So I'll see you back at the house.
All right, we got our post-workout meal. We got some chicken, white rice, sauteed mushrooms and onions, and we got a little bit of sugar-free GQ sugar-free barbecue sauce on top. Macros on this meal: 61 grams of protein, 56 carbs, and 6 grams of fat, totaling 524 calories. So let's get into it. Let's see how it tastes. I love sauteed mushrooms and onions. So we'll enjoy this. We'll get a little bit more work done, and then we'll see you back for meal 4, the final meal of the day. What could it be? I don't know, but I'll tell you, it's a fun one. It's a fun one, so stick around and you'll find out what that is. We'll see you guys there. Wow. What's the other one look like?
The other one's a white pizza. The mushroom.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow. Meal 4 is pizza. I told you it was going to be a good one. The reason is because today is my 31st birthday. Another reason my other meals of the day were kind of on the lighter side in terms of calories is because I was saving myself a little bit of calories for this pizza. How am I going to eat this? Well, I'm just going to eat it and I'm going to enjoy it. When my stomach is full, I'll stop. And then I'll go a little bit past that because it's one day that you know, it's the one day that I turn a new year, if that makes sense. So how am I going to track it? I'm going to put a plate down. I'm going to put a small plate down and get a load of the size of this pizza. That is crazy. Big as my fucking head. But we're going to measure it in grams. So you could roughly say that one slice of pizza is 330 grams. I'll eat as many as I want, and then I will times that number by 330, and then I will put that into my FitnessPal or my tracking app and report back the calories that I consume in this sitting. So let's sit down and enjoy some massive slices of pizza. All right, let's get into this bad boy. Crust is nice and thin, crispy. The cheese is intact, it's not too stringy. My kind of pizza. How many am I going to eat? At this rate, at this size, I don't know, maybe 3, 4. See what I can do. Stay tuned. Okay, we ended up doing 3 slices. I thought it was going to be more, but I'm pretty content with that and feeling pretty good. The crust was pretty thin, the cheese was kind of light, so I don't feel totally gross after eating that. So the totals for the day, let's get into it. From pizza alone here in meal 4, I had 2,280 calories from pizza, 91 grams of protein, 275 grams of carbs, and 91 grams of fat. Total daily caloric intake comes to 4,134, protein at 248, carbs at 484, and fat at 135. Now again, this isn't my typical day of eating. This is how I eat on my birthday. I wanted a good amount of pizza. I wanted a full belly, and 3 pieces did the trick. Important to know, tomorrow, the next day, the day after that, there's going to be no restriction, no additional cardio. I'm not cutting my calories. It was a guilt-free decision to eat this much food, to eat this much calories. All I'm going to do is wake up tomorrow and get right back to business. Same breakfast, same lunch, same dinner, same everything. No restriction, no compensating, just move on. That's how I recommend clients do things as well. If you've ever slipped up on your diet, don't compensate, don't restrict, just get right back to business. But that will do us for a full day of eating and a mic'd up leg day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions about my diet, my training, or anything in that realm, go ahead and drop me a comment below and I'll be happy to answer it. That'll be it for now. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, I'd love to see you stick around. More videos coming every week on the weekend. We'll talk to you guys soon. Peace!